Hey everybody, here's a little riddle for you for this week's show. I've been doing fishing television for 34 years, done over 1,400 episodes of our former Outdoor Trail show and now Fox Sports Outdoors. But in all that time, there's one inshore species of saltwater game fish that I've never fished for on the show. What is it? I'll give you the answer in just a moment, but I'll tell you the answer is going to provide a lot of fun, a lot of action, and something very unique for the next half hour. Glad you were along with us. Fox Sports Outdoors is on the air right now.
You're watching the only program with weekly fishing reports and real-time outdoor news from the Southeast region. This is Fox Sports Outdoors.
Well, hey everybody, did you get the answer to the riddle? Here's the answer. On our show, we've never targeted sheephead. Now, what I understand about this inshore species of saltwater game fish is that they are a very prolific, great fighting, and tasty to eat fish. They're all up and down the Atlantic and Gulf Coast, and we've never actually done one of our episodes targeting that species until today. And we're going to be joined right here in the Blazer Bay 2420 GTS Bay Boat by Captain Greg Verm. He guides out of the Galveston area and the Texas City area. We're going to be fishing off the Texas City Dike and the Galveston jetties, targeting sheephead, and more importantly, giving you lots of information in case you'd like to plan your very own trip to catch some of these great eating fish. So the next time you see me, I'll be right here in this boat with Captain Greg Verm, and while we're out fishing, we're taking you around your local region for your fishing reports from our expert team of insider reporters, freshwater and saltwater from lakes, rivers, and bays right where you live. Right now, the Blazer Bay goes down the boat ramp at the Texas City Dike. We get you back to the FSN studios with your weekend planner.
A check of the Salooner tables reveals fair game fish activity for your weekend at the lake. Peak fishing conditions should begin in the mid-morning hours and again at night on Saturday at 10:25 p.m. and Sunday at 11:12 p.m. Expect the sun to rise at 6:20 and set at 8:39. And evenings will feature a moon that is 82% illuminated. We'll be right back to check all of the fishing reports from throughout the area. And I'll return with 2006 Bassmaster Angler of the Year, Mike Iaconelli, for this week's Ask the Pro feature. Back in a bit.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Lew's. Feel the difference. Gene LaRue and Bobby Garland. We know bass and crappie from heads to tails. Gulf Shores and Orange Beach, Alabama. Plan your fishing vacation and catch the details at orangebeach.com/fishing. And by Glacier Glove. Stay outdoors longer with our gloves, hats, and shades.
That's what you're fishing for, and that's what you want to eat right there. You've got teeth on the outside that'll pick the crustaceans off the rocks and the wood. Golly, that one like to pull the rod completely out of my hands. All right, got a fish on. Whoa, good pull. Look at that rod. Look at that rod go. That's fantastic. Look at that. Man, what a great pull. Look at that. He's going into the boat. Well, this may be my first real sheephead on purpose. I've caught him by accident before, but I've never really caught him on purpose. And we're fishing for him today, and man, it didn't take 5 minutes. Something's got me. There he comes right there. Not a big one. Man, if that one fought like that, what's going to happen when I get me about an 8-pounder on here, Greg?
It's going to fight harder. These fish they dig. They're good fighting fish, no doubt.
So, there it came loose. So, would that be a 15-inch keeper or not?
Oh, yes. Yeah, a 17-inch fish.
17-inch fish right there. So that's the good eating kind.
Very good.
So we're out with Greg Verm. He's our resident Galveston expert. Got crews running up and down the whole bay system here. Fishes for everything in here. But the sheephead bite is going really strong right now. Why?
They're spawning. They're starting to come into these jetties and they're beginning their spawn right now. It will last from now pretty much through March and even into April. Yes.
But then there are sheephead that can still be caught throughout the entire system. They stay here after they spawn, right?
Right. They'll be resident fish that stay here along the jetties, but then they'll also disperse out into the bays, and even some will go out into the rigs, into the Gulf.
Well, we got to start. We're gonna release that fish today. We're not keeping them, but they're great eating. We'll talk about that some more as well.
This portion of the show is brought to you by the state of Mississippi, where fishing fun is year-round and where the Mississippi Gulf Coast offers some of the best inshore angling and offshore adventures anywhere in the world. So start your fishing adventure in the true South, Mississippi. Well, June always has been one of the best times to fish the Gulf Coast, and it's really on fire right now on the coast of Alabama. I was talking to my friend Jake Marcus, who fishes out of Fairhope on Mobile Bay, and he says that the lack of rain has really turned on to trout fishing throughout the Mobile Bay area. He says all the state-run reefs are really producing lots of trout, lots of limits are being caught. They're also catching redfish with the trout, and most of these fish are being caught in 8 to 15 feet of water. Jake also says triple-tail fishing has been very good around the channel markers, and he recommends working the crab floats in Powdersville Bay. He says not too many guys are fishing for triple-tail just yet because the trout fishing has been so good, that's where all the emphasis is going. Jake also says that the snapper fishing has been outstanding. The season is now open June 1. It's open from Fridays through Sundays till Labor Day and all week during the 4th of July. Lots of limits are being caught around the oil platforms and the reefs, especially places called the tanks and the bridge rubble areas. Mississippi also is on fire for red snapper. A friend of mine, Nick Strahan, had a ladies' day on his boat, the Caliente, a 36-foot yellowfin. They ran to 100 feet of water, had 12 ladies on board and 4 men acting as crew, and they had their 32 fish limit of red snapper. Well, that's it for the Southeast Coast. Get out on the water and take a youngster with you when you go.
I was going to say you got to let him take it. That one just decided all of a sudden that he wanted to get caught. Man, you don't want to bring like your absolute ultra light tackle to do this. Light tackle's good. This is a medium light action rod. This is really clear water for down here. This water's got a couple of foot visibility to it, so you can actually see these fish when they come up. Look at him, he's got another one right with him. That's so cool. That is so cool.
It's another good one, Barry.
Yeah, that's a fat dude right there now.
Yeah,
look at that sheephead. Grab him right by the top of the head, and you got to have a strong hook. We'll talk about that later, why that's important. Here's a nice one right here, beautiful. Maybe we can get a shot of him in the sun right there.
Female, big female.
Female sheephead right there. That's what you're fishing for, and that's what you want to eat right there. He's got teeth on the outside that'll pick the crustaceans off the rocks and the wood, but then you can see those crushers, and that's to crush those shells with. They are efficient predator fish, I'll guarantee you. And not a pelagic. They're not out here chasing ghost minnows and mullet and that kind of thing. They're picking stuff off rocks. But
that's a good fish.
Be a good eater right there.
Absolutely, great.
We're turning them back today. Look at a big old school of them all down there with them. There's probably 5 or 6 sheephead right with this one. Boy, you bowed back on that, Big Daddy.
It's a good fish right here, Barry.
You think? Oh yeah, he's taking drags. See if I can be your wingman here. Look at a big old school of them all down there with them. There's probably 5 or 6 sheephead right with this one. That was cool right there. Man, exactly what you're talking about. Got him in kind of a frenzy, and then 5 or 6 were trying to get that bait out of his mouth. Yep. Greg, one thing too I'm learning about this thing is I've been out here with you before on these jetties where we've caught big bull reds, one right after the next.
Right.
And but now it's all sheephead. These fish kind of go in waves, and like when you're catching sheephead, then it's mostly sheephead.
It's mostly sheephead. There's some nice speckled trout on the rocks right now, and the ones we catch are really big. But once these get done spawning, then the specks will be moving in and start their spawn.
So it really definitely goes in seasons. And you'll catch sheephead, then you catch specks, then you catch bull reds.
Yep, that's it.
And that's cool. So you kind of know you kind of know what your chances are when you come out here.
Right. We'll have the Sheephead run, right, and the black drummer running right now too. Big black drum come in, 30, 40 pound fish. But then the speckled trout, slot reds, and then in September, October, you'll have the big bull reds come in and start their spawn at these jetties and passes.
Cool. So really, when you want to come here and fish for fun or book a guide trip, either one, you can kind of plan it so that you can be here on the exact right run for what you'd like to catch. But I highly recommend that you need to come and do some of the sheephead fishing if you've never done it before.
Hey guys, welcome to this week's Tennessee, Mississippi, and Alabama Fishing Report. It's brought to you by the Henry County Tourism Authority on Kentucky Lake. Check them out at fishkentuckylake.com. Let's go ahead and start in Tennessee. I'm standing here on Kentucky Lake today. I've been fishing quite a bit over the past week, and it has been exceptionally tough fishing for bass. Not a lot of fish being found right now, but seems like when you do catch one, it's a pretty good one. The best thing going on here right now is night fishing, and people are catching them on 10-inch bullworms in black and blue. They're catching them tour grade night spinner baits in black, black blue, black with a gold Colorado blade, and then of course a black and blue jig with a black and blue rage cross, pretty hard to beat. But if you want to catch them in Tennessee, I would go to Percy Priest. Based on the reports I've read, I talked to a guy the other day that's been catching them really good. It's having a really good year. Easy to get to right outside of Metro Nashville. Let's jump down to Alabama. The upper end of Pickwick Lake around the Florence, Alabama area is the hot thing right now. Fishing current, of course, offshore, big swim baits, crankbaits, jigs, things of that nature on offshore structure for big largemouth and big smallmouth. But the big swim bait bite seems to be the deal. Gunnersville also always worthy of a mention. The grass bite's getting hot there. People are flipping and catching them. 3-fish tournament last week took 22 pounds, I believe, to win, and it took 16 to get a check with 3 bass. Mississippi, Enid Lake. Enid is where the crappie are biting right now. If you want to go maximize your potential, Enid is where you want to go.
At the heart of Kentucky Lake is a special place known as Paris, Tennessee. It's a place where fishing, hunting, dining, shopping, and family fun are all served with a side of Southern hospitality. We hope you'll join us soon and experience this world by the water.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by MotorGuide's new wireless and easy-to-use XI3. XI batteries powering the world forward. Waypoint Marine, the Gulf Coast's leading saltwater boating specialist. And Strike King, designed by the pros, fished by you.
Look at that big daddy. Yeah. All right. Got it? There we go, we got doubles. Hey, welcome back everybody. We are still out at Galveston, and I'm telling you, we are catching these sheephead one right after the next. We're here at spawning time. And that's a little better one there. Look at that one. That's a big old sheephead right there. I got a fish and a net full of sheephead.
That's a good one there.
There's Greg Verm, and he's got him a good one. That might be one of our better ones of the day right here. Look at that big daddy. Yeah. Man, look at that dude.
It's a good fish.
Okay, so how big is this fish? This is bigger than we've been catching.
This has 7-8 pound fish.
Really?
Yes.
7 or 8 pound sheephead right here.
Right there.
And how long will a fish like that be?
This one's probably 21, 22 inches.
So a 21 or a 22 inch fish is 7 or 8 pounds, just to show you how big and stocky and wide and fat they are. Big belly spawning female right here.
That's it.
All right, back she goes. And then while you're down there, we can have a little service here. That's the size we've been catching all day right here. Just good eating size right here. Greg's being real careful with them because they will hurt you. And there it goes. All right, man.
Good job.
That's probably one of the biggest ones we've caught today. We've had constant, steady action out here. Greg, talk to the people about timing. If they wanted to come do this in the peak time, what are the months to do it?
The peak time is going to be mid-March to about mid-April. That's when these fish are coming up along the passes and the rocks, and they're doing their spawning.
Okay, and if they can't come in that time period, what would be some other times that they can just come and catch some?
We can catch them year-round.
Really?
Yeah, the jetties are a great area to target sheephead, and then bridge pilings, any kind of riprap type cover. They're real structure-oriented fish.
Hey folks, it's time for your Carolinas Report, this week brought to you by the Crazy Sister Marina, the leader in water sports along the Grand Strand. We're located right on the Marsh Walk in Murrells Inlet. We can take care of all your needs on the water. You want to go out on a great charter, hire a boat for yourself, or even go out and rent some kayaks or an eco tour, it's all right here at Crazy Sister Marina in Murrells Inlet. Visit crazysister.com for more information. I tell you what, it's starting to get that time of the year where I spend a lot of time on the water. Early in the morning, late in the afternoons, you can do that as well. Freshwater, saltwater, it doesn't matter. Right now, got out this morning early in Murrells Inlet here, doing a little bit of topwater fishing, catching mostly bluefish and had a couple reds, no trout yet, but it's that time of the year for the big trout to show up. Get out with a whopper plopper, a Zara spook, anything that you can walk the dog with, make a lot of ruckus on top of the water, and concentrate on schools of bait near oyster beds and deep holes. Had great luck with those in the summers in the past. You can do the same on your body of water. Also, I want to talk about the king mackerel bite, which continues to just get better and better. Starting to see a lot of menhaden show up along the beaches. Therefore, the kings are going to go right there. Low tide is a great time to target those fish up near the beach. A lot of guys don't do that. Those schools of bait are up there, the fish are there. You got a lot less water to cover. You can catch some big fish this time of the year. Also, concentrate on any swashes or any inlets where you've got a tide line. You can find some big king mackerel this time of the year. Remember always, good live bait is going to be key to catching some big king mackerel. Don't forget those live bottoms near shore, they're covered up with them as well. I tell you what, this has been your Carolinas Report, and as always is sponsored by Crazy Sister Marina. Remember, fish smarter, not harder, and keep your chaos organized.
Got it. Miss one? Well, we've got them working here. Hey, while I'm fighting this fish in, I want to mention something. This is something, you don't have to come here to do this. Of course, Greg and his guys will gladly take you out if you'd like to come here, but sheephead fishing is something you can do all up and down the entire Gulf Coast, from South Padre on the far south end all the way up to the Florida coast. And then we've actually got some folks, Inglis Glover, our SouthEAST reporter, our insider reporter from the Carolinas, they catch them, big ones, up and down the reef system there as well. So you can catch them along the Atlantic coast, all along the Gulf Coast. Oh, that's a big one. Wow, look at this. That's a fatty right there. You can do this. Pull this net out of the way quickly. Okay, the hook came out easy. Let's see if this part goes as easy. Look at that, dude. All right. Yeah, look at the sunlight right there. That's just gorgeous. Big, fat female right there. They are so much fun to catch. But let me tell you, this is something you do not have to have a boat to catch these fish, right? I see people catching these things up and down the jetties. Where can you catch them off the shore?
You can catch them off the any piers, bridge pilings. Texas City Dike is a great area right here locally in the Galveston area, but most piers and bridge pilings and pier pilings, wood pilings, are great areas. Because
they're picking those crustaceans off the surface of the wood and off the surface of the rocks. So any jetties, any rocks, any wood, any piers, those are the type places you can catch these sheep's head right here. We're gonna let this one go back, although I would love to eat this dude right here. That's a fat one.
You can always watch our latest episode on the front page of our website at foxsportsoutdoors.com. Catch up on past episodes by clicking the archive button and learn about fishing techniques and new gear at our how-to page. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter for new fishing videos every day. Simply search for Fox Sports Outdoors and click the like button on Facebook and follow button on Twitter. And watch a new episode every week on any device by downloading the free Waypoint TV app on your phone, tablet, computer, or smart TV. Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by NITRO Performance Fishing Boats. Champions aren't born, they're made. Mercury Outboards, go boldly. Lowrance and the new Hook 2, the world's easiest fish finder. And tough as hell Voodoo Lures. Do you voodoo?
Welcome back, everyone. It's time for the Ask the Pro question. This week, Greg asks, What is the heaviest line I can put on a spinning reel? For the answer, we asked 2006 Bassmaster Angler of the Year, Mike Iaconelli.
What is the heaviest line you should use on a spinning rod? I'm going to give you two answers. The one is talking about monofilament or fluorocarbon, filling the reel completely with one of those two line types. Traditionally, 6 to 10 pound tests is the range you want to fill that spinning reel with. But let me second it with the advent of super line and braided line, you can use much stronger line with a lighter leader. Normally I'll use 15, 20, even sometimes 30 pound super line, but again, I'll go back to that 6, 8, or 10 pound mono or fluorocarbon leader. That's the best bet for a spinning reel.
Thanks, Mike. If you have a question for one of the anglers, visit our website, follow the Ask the Pro link, and send it in. Now let's see who's our winner for this week's Big Catch of the Week.
Hey everybody, we have the Blazer Bay 2420 GTS back on the trailer, and it's time right now for this week's winner in the Big Catch of the Week contest. He is Jared Francisco of Sale Creek, Tennessee, showing a 7.5 and a 5.5 pound largemouth bass he caught at Chickamauga Lake in Tennessee. If you'd like to be our next winner, just go to our website at Fox Sports Outdoors, click on the Big Catch of the Week area on the right side of the homepage and follow the instructions to send us your photo. You could get your 15 seconds of fame with your big fish photo right here on our show. If you want to go catch some of these sheephead like you saw us catching this week, you really need some fairly light spinning tackle. Medium light is perfect, about a 6.5 or 7 foot rod like my loose TP1 inshore speed stick series that we caught them on today. Perfectly matched with a little 300 series spinning reel. That's the loose inshore spinning reel as well. It's perfectly color coordinated and matched, and a perfect rig for catching sheephead. Now, as far as the bait is concerned, you can either catch them on live shrimp, or it's even more fun to catch them on artificial. We caught a lot of them today on the voodoo shrimp. It's a very famous bait. This particular bait is made out of material that tennis shoes are made out of, so it's almost indestructible. It comes pre-rigged with a super strong hook and a weight already embedded in the head of the bait, so you don't have to do any rigging on the bait itself, and they're available at most fishing tackle retailers. I've heard a lot of folks say you can't change the past. Maybe you can. Lots of folks carry around a lot of baggage and a lot of pain for things they've either done or things that have been done to them from their past. There are two actions that you might think about taking. Number one, if it's pain that you've caused others, you can go back and apologize. Number two, if it's pain that's been caused to you by someone else, you can forgive. Apologizing and forgiving can be two very difficult things to do, but they can provide lots of freedom and release from lots of past baggage, and in that way may very well change the past. Hey, thanks for joining us for this week's episode. In case you'd like to book Captain Greg Verm or any of his guides to go out and catch some sheephead or some redfish, speckled trout, any of the inshore species here in the Galveston Bay system, you can contact him at the contact information you see on your screen. We will see you right back here next week on the show. Until then, I'm Barry Stokes. Be safe, have fun. Bye-bye, y'all.